Hello and welcome to the BDNA Tactical Playbook for Enterprise Architects. My name is Jeff Richmond and I'll be your guide as we proceed through this tactical playbook. This tactical playbook is the first of a series of playbooks targeted to specific users of BDNA products. Each playbook will focus on an IT issue familiar to a particular set of users, providing step-by-step tutorials for arriving at a solution. In addition, there are tutorials available that cover overview information about the BDNA data platform and its component applications. These are available via the BDNA support portal, which can be accessed by clicking the link provided at the end of this playbook. As an enterprise architect, being able to describe both the current state and future state architectures is essential to bringing projects in line. I start by assessing the current portfolio, map out what systems exist and what they do. For example, what's the status of my database servers? Are they still supported, or have they reached their end-of-life dates? Let's proceed through the steps of creating an analyzer report in BDNA Analyze that shows how to find the current state of our database servers. The process begins with the normalization of our IT inventory. During the normalization process, IT inventory data is deduped, refined, and enhanced with market data provided by Technopedia content. Once the normalization process is finished, I need to open the user console. I can do that from the admin console by clicking the link located near the normalized results. The user console opens, showing recently opened reports and overviews of normalized and Technopedia assets. To create an analyzer report, I go to the Reports drop-down in the upper right of the user console and select Create Analyzer Report. A pop-up opens that shows me a list of data sources. I choose a data source that's relevant to the type of analysis I'll be doing. For this report, I'm going to choose Normalize IT Assets. A blank report page opens showing the fields available for IT assets on the left side of the page. There are also controls on this page for layout, filters, and other report settings. During the normalization process, my IT inventory data was mapped to Technopedia's huge repository of software and hardware objects. The objects in the repository are organized into categories and subcategories. Since I'm looking for information about my database software, I'll choose Software Category as the first row in my report. When I press Enter, a long list of categories appears on the report. I can narrow down this list to a specific category by using a filter. There are a number of different ways to create a filter. In this case, I'll right-click directly on the software header and select Filter from the context menu that appears. This opens the Create Filter dialog box. I can use the Find feature to locate Database Management Systems, the category of software I want to learn more about. When it's found, I select it and use the right arrow to move it over to the currently included list. When I click OK, the list is reduced to a single software category. Note that you can access any of the filters you create using the Filters drop-down panel at the top of the report. You can edit any of the filters you create or delete them if they're no longer needed. Remember that filters remain in effect even if the corresponding field is deleted from the report. So be sure to delete filters from your report if they're no longer in use. Analyze provides a number of convenient ways to add rows to a report. The method I'll use here leverages the way Technopedia categorizes normalized data. To add the row, I can right-click the software category header to bring up a context menu. Note the context menu provides a selection called Also Show. In this case, the additional attribute provided is Software Subcategory, which is the next level in the Technopedia taxonomy. When I click the additional attribute, two subcategories appear. For this report, I'm just interested in my enterprise-level database servers, so I right-click Personal and use the context menu to exclude it from the report. I'm especially interested in my enterprise database vendor distribution, so I look for software manufacturer in the list of available fields. When I locate the field, I press Enter, and a list of software manufacturer names is added to the report. I need to create a filter for this list, so it just shows the manufacturer I'm looking for. For this filter, I'll right-click on Microsoft, opening a context menu. I scroll down the menu and click Keep Only Microsoft. Note the list of manufacturer names is now restricted to Microsoft. I'm interested in looking at a specific Microsoft application, so I add software name to my table. Once again, I add a filter to the report that limits the software shown to SQL Server. I include additional fields and filters that show me a specific component of the software and lists of version numbers used for marketing the product and for product nomenclature. I also include a field that shows me which versions of the software are still supported by the manufacturer. When I'm finished adding fields, I can find out exactly how many instances of SQL Server I currently have deployed by adding a measure to the table. To do that, I search the list of available fields and select the software install count measure. When I press Enter, the install counts are added to the report. I'm also interested in seeing the end-of-life dates for the different instances of SQL Server we have deployed. To do that, I search the list of available fields until I find Software End-of-Life Year Calculated. This field is based on data contained in Technopedia and then applied to the data that's been normalized. This time I'll use the drag and drop method to add a column to our counts of SQL Server deployments. I can also add grand totals to both the columns and rows in my report. I can do that by clicking the Report Options button in the lower left corner of the report page. The Report Options dialog opens, and I select the checkboxes for adding grand totals to the rows and columns. When I click OK, the grand totals appear on the report. This would be a good time to save the report. I click the Save icon and a dialog opens showing entry fields for a report name and optional description. Note the Share tab, which allows me to set access controls for the report. We'll go into greater detail about that feature in a later tutorial. Now that I've saved the report, I can access it at any time. To do that, I can go to the upper right of the report page and click the Reports drop-down. On the context menu, I select Report Management. When the Report Management page opens, I can see my newly created report listed at the top of the page. Let's close out this tutorial by quickly showing the drill down feature available in an Analyzer report. The drill down feature enables me to right-click one of the numerical values shown in the report and open an interactive report that shows me the system details for the value selected. In subsequent tutorials, we'll learn more about the difference between analyzer and interactive reports, and under what circumstances each should be used.